Prettier. A little more pretty, a little less, a little more, a little less. Okay, guys, welcome. Wow, we got smaller. What happened to all our friends?
Sports, Easter break.
Oh.
Spring break.
Okay, okay. They don't like protein. Cool. Can we get Margie over here? Okay, guys. So, did everyone get an in-body? I think we're all set there, and everyone has their phones with them. Excellent. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a quick talk about how the week went, starting with protein. So you guys had your protein numbers. You all calculated that last week with us. So how many of you hit your protein number every single day since I saw you last? Get it, girl. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Good. Not you, Warren?
Close.
Close? Okay, okay. How about you got 4 days out of the 6 since I've seen you? Yeah? 5, okay, good, good. 3 days? You just moved the camera, sir. Can you go fix that? It was squared up. Never mind, I'll fix it. It's okay. Please hold. Okay. Well, yeah. It's okay, I haven't said anything important yet.
Oh, but you will.
Yeah. Please hold. Okay. Got it. Okay, good. So protein went pretty well. Looks like we're like 50-50 on hitting it every day. Did anyone have any trouble? Like they didn't hit it at all? They tried and they didn't hit it at all. What happened?
I had gastric bypass and I just can't eat that much.
Okay, can't eat that much. So were you eating anything else besides protein? Okay, okay, cool. So sometimes when we have these limitations digestively, or if we're taking medication that limits how much we can consume, we have to prioritize the protein, okay? And yeah, sometimes that means we're not eating as much vegetable food, right? But that might be an advantage for your health to eat the protein over the vegetable, because you're getting more nutrients out of the protein than you are out of the vegetable. So if we're talking about value of food, we're going to get more calories, we're going to get more nutrients out of a meat source than out of a plate of broccoli. And so if you only have so much room in your stomach, that may be a better choice.
Okay.
Okay?
If I eat so much protein, because I have gastroparesis, it's hard to digest it.
Okay. So we'll have to try out different protein sources and find one that works for you.
I could drink my protein.
Okay. There you go. Yeah. There's a good idea. We'll try that this week, okay? Good. Anyone else struggle getting their protein? Yeah.
I got most of my protein, but like at night, I was like stuffing my face with like 2 breasts of chicken, and it was rough.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, so what did we talk about? Yeah, you're right. You're right. That is so rough. So what did we talk about last week?
Your tummy will not be happy.
Yeah, and what did we say?
Spread it out.
Yes.
Trying to spread it out.
So how much protein are you getting in your first meal?
Probably like 25
Okay, that's not bad. When is your first meal?
in the morning.
What time?
9.
Okay, but you're up at 6.
Yeah.
So that's a 3-hour window where you could be consuming some protein.
Okay.
Let's start earlier.
Okay, we'll start earlier.
Okay,
We'll start earlier.
cool. Anyone else struggling with protein intake? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have the same kind of issues. I feel like I eat all day.
Yes.
A lot of protein,
All
a lot of fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
But I'm light.
You're what?
I'm light on it.
You're light on the protein. Okay. Yeah, so it's,
I think I need to do like a shake or something.
and you might, right? Like some of us might have to use shakes, right? They are supplements. They are there for a reason, right? Some people need them. It's not we got to find what's best for you. What's going to work in your life, in your routines, in your schedules, in your setup. And it may not be perfect. It may not be the ideal situation, but it's going to be better than what's happening now. Cool? And we can gradually work towards ideal. That's the game. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just a comment. I put a scoop of protein powder in my yogurt.
Yeah.
Not like the best, but if you put some fruit over it, it's like palatable.
Yeah. that's great. And if you let it sit for at least 30 minutes in the yogurt, it'll dissolve better.
Oh, okay.
If you're like scooping, stirring, eating, it's a little grainy. But if you let it sit like 30 minutes and or if you do it the night before, if you prep it, your powder just completely dissolves. Yeah. Yeah, that's a great trick. Greek yogurt and protein. And you're doing Greek yogurt, right?
Yeah, Greek yogurt.
Okay. And then not all Greek yogurts are the same, so hopefully you're flipping.
I did the Zoe.
Okay, yeah, they've got a high protein.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. But make sure you're flipping those labels. Not all Greek yogurts are the same.
Not fat, right? Or with fat?
With fat.
Oh.
Yeah, with fat.
No.
Okay, so that's our protein. How many of you got all 5 workouts in since I saw you last? Raise your hand.
Yes.
Nice job. 4? 3? You got 5? Good job. 2? Okay. But you did some at home, right? That was your 2?
No.
Okay. And 1. And 0. Great. This is good. Okay, so remember, part of the quick cut is getting 5 to 6 workouts in a week. We will see a much greater change if you are doing that. If you aren't doing the 5 to 6, we will still get a change. There will still be benefit, but it won't be the maximum benefit we could be getting out of these 4 weeks together. We've done this exact routine with patients in a medical clinic, and the only part we couldn't really get in was the exercise because they weren't in the gym. And so we did the same protocol food-wise, sleep-wise, all those things were in, but the exercise wasn't, and the change was about half, 50% what we were getting in a gym setting, where we could get people exercising 5 to 6 days a week. So it's a huge factor in making those changes to your body, okay? So this week, right? Those of you who didn't hit your 5, cool. Okay, sleep. Sleep, you guys know sleep is part of this program, right? Okay, whew, here we go. 8 hours every night. Raise your hand. Winners!
Point of clarification.
Yeah. Not an average.
No. In bed for over 8 hours, but you have trouble staying asleep in the middle of the night. I'm not used to sleeping that much.
Yeah.
So I win at being in bed for 8 hours.
Good job. Yeah.
That's me.
I will concur with that.
Yeah,
because
so-
this one, I'm in bed for at least 7.
Sabotage. A little sabotage. Yep. Totally. So guys, that's what we can do, right? We can't, I mean, you can with like drugs, put yourself to sleep for 8 hours, but we don't want to do that, right? So what you can do is be in bed for more than 8 hours, give your body the opportunity to sleep. And as you ramp up training, as you improve your diet, hopefully your sleep will start to improve over time. So who is in bed for more than 8 hours every single night? Fantastic. That's the win. Okay. That was a great clarification. So everybody else needs to figure out how to get that in. And we're going to talk more about schedules next week, but this is something that you should already be working at. Okay. Good. Off plan. Here we go. Here's where we get to be honest. So we have a very particular box, and inside that box is sources of protein, fruit, and vegetables. And that's all that's in there. Okay, so grains, alcohol, sugary drinks, added sugars for no reason are outside our box. So if you went outside the box, hold up how many times you went outside the box in the last 7 days. Okay, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 10? Are you on the quick cut? That's Chris. I can say that to Chris. He's hiding behind Adria, who already told on him. 7? 1, 3, 1, 1, 2. Okay, so 1s and 2s. Cool. You probably still got results. Yeah? Did you guys still get results? Yeah. Good. When we go like 5, 6, 7s, 10s. 6, 7. Yeah. When we get up there in those numbers, that can definitely stop results. Okay? So we want you guys to maximize the change that you can get. Maybe we need to strategize. Maybe you have something that you're eating on a routine that you know is outside the box, right? Now's the time. Now is the time because you have all the support. We have this set period of time to work together and to problem solve. For example, I know Chris has a bar that he's been eating, and maybe he had 10 bars this week? Is that what the 10 is? Blank stares. Okay. We're going to say Chris has a bar. And so there's this bar that he's been consuming. So maybe he needs help replacing that bar for something else that's on plan, right? Maybe it's that simple. Cool? So whatever you have going on that's causing you to go off plan, we need to do something about it right now. Cool? Okay. Good. Anyone get super hungry? So the opposite of the I'm stuffed, I can't eat anymore. So you're hungry and stuffed at the same time?
After my workouts in the morning, I'm really hungry, but I'm getting the baby ready with Kristoff, and we're running around in the morning. It's really tight.
Okay.
Really tight.
So you need quick protein.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I probably need to-
Anyone else feeling hungry, like they're not getting enough food? Great. Yes?
Sometimes I wake up surprised and I have no snacking.
Okay. And do you eat? Okay. Hey, what's the solution for hunger? What? Yes, and what do we need to eat as a priority? Protein. Sweet, and that'll solve it, right? Grab some Greek yogurt, grab some beef jerky, right? These things can be quick. Yes, Chris.
Midday snacks helps a lot.
Yeah, is that where you're getting hungry in the middle of the day?
I make a snack at night. I have the midday snack before dinner.
Nice. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, let's go over your in-bodies. Go ahead and pull them up on your phone. So now we're going to take a look and see how things are going. So there's a really common thing that happens first week of the quick cut, which is that your water plummets. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to scroll down to the bottom, and we're going to look at your total body water. You're in history now. You should be in history because now you have a history of scans. So scroll down to total body water. A very common response after getting on the quick cut or getting on any nutritional protocol that cuts carbohydrates out of your diet is that the water will just whoosh down to the bottom. Anyone see that on their graph? No? Good, a couple of you. So if it wasn't a dramatic change in your diet, it won't be a dramatic change in your water, okay? But for some of you who just went from processed foods or a lot of grains or a lot of carbohydrates to none, you're going to see a big plummet there. And it will be reflected in how much muscle mass because that water is outside the muscles, okay? It's gone. That's a really common response, and it will level out. It will. It'll change. We'll just wait and see, okay? Now, I want everyone to go back up to your body fat mass. Take a look at body fat mass. So this should go down. Raise your hand if it went down. Body fat mass, it should have dropped. Okay, good. Now look at muscle mass, which I think is right above that. That should stay the same. Or if you had a big water drop, you'll see that drop off as well. Yeah? Did anyone go up in muscle mass? Sweet. Okay, great. The goal is muscle up, fat down. That's the goal, right? I think everyone's here for that. Muscle up, fat down. Cool. So there might be some opportunities in what you're doing in order to make that happen, but realize as well, in terms of that muscle number, that change in water in your body may be giving you a false drop in muscle mass. Okay? Good. Any questions on your scans for this week? Cool. We'll be paying attention. Definitely paying attention. And if you're puzzled, Val, are you puzzled?
I'm the opposite. The muscle went down and the fat mass went up.
Do you have a big drop in water?
Just like one.
1 pound or 0.1?
It went from 41.6 to 40.7.
Okay. Yeah, so 1 pound
1 pound.
of water, total body water.
Yeah.
So that could be what is happening with the muscle mass, not necessarily the fat mass. So we should chat after this. Okay. If you have something going on where you're like, I was on plan, right? All the grains are gone, all the sugar's gone, all the alcohol's gone, and I didn't get the response, then we should chat and figure out what it is. Everything we're doing in the quick cut, I want to remind you, is based on experiment. This is based on us actually doing it with others, and what works. And there are little things, we talked about this in our accountability project this morning. There are little things that can be inside the box that kind of betray us. So we go, well, dates are fruit, but if you're eating a bucket of dates every day, our sugar intake is going to be too high, right? We go, What else is there? There's ways where you can use on-plan ingredients to make food where you would eat so much more than you would normally eat, and then it throws your calories way off, right? So if you're a very creative person and you love to eat, you're going to figure out ways to stay in the box but betray your results, okay? And so that does come up every once in a while. For most of us, it's totally a non-issue, okay? But if you do have that going on, we can chat about what you're doing and see where we might need to fine-tune a little bit further. Cool? Yeah.
So I know it's going to differ from person to person. I did see results, but it's like marginal.
Yeah.
That's probably normal in the
Yes.
first week or so. Okay.
Yes.
And I get more than enough protein.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's okay. Yeah. Are you taking any protein supplements?
Just a splash in my coffee. A splash of Fairlife in my coffee.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, that's the only.
Everything else is food.
A little bit of, in my yogurt, I put a little bit of protein powder.
Okay.
I guess I could maybe eliminate.
You could. Yeah, if you're getting more than you need.
I like it for flavor.
Yeah. Well, see, there you go, right? Like we're eating it for flavor. We're eating it for taste, not for purpose. And so that might be an area of opportunity for you.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, guys, ready to move on? We got some fun stuff to cover. Okay. So, why? We're going to talk about why today. When you really understand why you're making these choices, it makes it much easier to make these choices. When you don't understand why, meaning your own personal why, it's really easy to just choose otherwise, okay? So if you're like, well, I'm just here because someone drugged me here and is making me do this, okay? Then it's not going to last. You're not doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for your own reasons. And so today we're going to really dive into what your reasons are so that you can use that as a foundation for going forward. Most of you have been through Fitness 101, and this should look familiar, yeah? The sick, well, fit continuum. This is about defining what fitness is and understanding what it can do across your life. Fitness is a buffer to poor health. It's not just a solution for poor health, it's a preventative buffer. So when you have lots of fitness, you have lots of health. And the more health you have, the harder it is for that health to be drained down to illness. If you think of it like a battery, okay? As you invest in your health, your battery gets filled. And then life events happen, accidents happen, whatever happens, you have this full battery that you can use to get through that event. But if your battery of health is really low and something happens, you don't have a lot there that you can use to get through it. Whether it's a family emergency, a health emergency, an accident, the more you have, the better off you're going to be getting through it. Okay? That's what this is all about. We've got sickness over here, wellness in the middle, and fitness here. Sickness is sickness. This is where we go to the doctor and the doctor says we got to do something. Medication, therapy, something. Okay? Wellness is here. You go to the doctor and they say, see you next year, don't screw it up. Okay? And fitness is here. You go to the doctor and the doctor's confused. That's what fitness is. You go to the doctor and the doctor's confused. They go, I don't even know what to do with you. Look at you, but your cholesterol and your, how's your blood pressure this low? Like it's confusing because they're not used to seeing it. That's what fitness looks like at the doctor's office. Anyone experience that? Okay, sweet, yeah. You go to the doctor, you're obese. Right? That's what fitness looks like. You have so much muscle mass, you weigh too much on their metrics and on their scales.
Your BMI.
That's right. That's BMI. Exactly. So we can measure this across these medical parameters here, like blood pressure, resting heart rate. These are cholesterol numbers. That's normally how we would measure health, right? But we can also measure this in terms of what your body can do. Like, how long does it take you to go a mile? If it takes you 20 to 30 minutes to get your body from one end of a mile to another, we would call that sick. Okay? If it takes you 10 to 15 minutes to go a mile from one end to the other, we'd call that well. You're fine. Cool? If it takes you 5 minutes to go from one end of the mile to the other end of the mile, we would call that fit. That is really fit. So you can measure these things in the gym as well, and we do. One of the common ones we use is how much weight can you pick up off the ground in a deadlift, just from the ground, standing up. And if you can pick up your body weight, we call that well. So however much you weigh, you put it on a bar and you can pick it up, we say you're well. We say you're right here. But if you're not there yet, or the body weight is too grand to pick up, then we're here. We're in the sick range. And if you can pick up twice your body weight on a barbell, you're here. And that's how we would say you're sick, well, or fit relative to your strength. Is that making sense? Okay. We can look at all sorts of things that your body can do and where they're at to know if you are sick, well, or fit. The more fitness you have, the more opportunities you have. If you are fit and your friends say, hey, let's go kayaking, you can say, yes, I would like to go kayaking. My body will do that for me. If your friends say, hey, let's climb a mountain, I did that last year to my friends. Hey, let's climb a mountain, you can say yes, okay? And let me be honest about this mountain story. I threw it out to the gym. I said, hey, who wants to climb Mount Shasta? And there was a lot of people that were like, oh, I want to climb Mount Shasta. And as people discovered what that really looked like, they realized their body wasn't ready for it. And so they lost that opportunity because their body wasn't ready. Now, that's a ridiculous amount of fitness necessary to do that, and I don't recommend it to anybody ever. But that's what fitness affords you. The people who went on that trip with me were very fit. I was the least fit person on that trip. It was my old age. I turned 40 up there on the mountain, and I could feel it, okay? I was the least fit. Everybody else had a much easier time than me, okay? But that's what fitness affords you. It allows you to go on these grand adventures and be able to complete them. We all summited. We all got to the top. We were the biggest group our guide had ever summited because we all had fitness. Now, if you don't have fitness, you don't make it to the top. If you don't have fitness, you never go on the trip, right? So fitness provides you opportunity in life. It also makes you someone that other people can depend on. It makes you someone who can care for other people. We have caregivers in the house. It is a rough road. Caring for others is a lot of work. Don't you want to be the one able to care for someone and not the one that needs to be cared for? That's what fitness provides you. It keeps your spouse or your favorite child from having to care for you too soon. Think about that. Your favorite kid, they're the one that's going to have to care for you because, they're your favorite. Mm-hmm. And that's what you're gonna be doing to their life if you need to be cared for too soon. And there's a lot of that you can prevent. There's some stuff you can't prevent, but there's a lot you can. Okay? And so working for this fitness allows that. It allows that delay so that you don't have to be cared for early. It allows you to do more things. It allows you to help more people. Making sense? Okay. That's a reason for a lot of us being here, yeah? Good. Okay.
And it happens, I'm surprised by it, it happens fast.
Yes.
I worked in the nursery at church, and literally when I started, I could not carry Eli for an hour. I would have to put him in a stroller and stroll him along, because that sucker weighs like 30 pounds. I carried him for an hour.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
And walk him around, and it's like,
Yeah.
you don't, I feel like I don't notice that I'm getting stronger. Obviously I am.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Great example. So sometimes we have to make hard choices, which you guys are all doing something hard right now. Eating inside the box for 4 weeks is not easy. Yeah? Anyone have to work at it a bit? Okay, only half of you, everyone. Chris. Yeah, it takes work. It's not easy. The easy choice is just to go out and have Taco Bell.
And people want you to.
That's right. The easy choice is when you're stuffing those eggs at church for the Easter egg hunt to just have a couple pieces. That's the easy choice. The hard choice is to go on stuffing the egg, not your mouth, right? Yeah, that's the hard choice. But if we do what's easy now, it makes life much harder later for you, for the people who have to care for you. If you do what's hard now, it will be easier for you later and easier for them. So yes, they are hard. This is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Everybody would be doing this if it was easy. It's not easy, okay? So having that purpose and having that why, that foundation for you to stand on is really important because it's gonna get harder. It's gonna get hard and then it's gonna get harder. Think about the holidays. You're gonna practice this for the next 7 months and then Halloween's gonna come. And then Thanksgiving is gonna come. And then Thanksgiving is gonna come, right? And that's where we struggle the most. If you don't have a solid foundation to stand on walking through those months of the year, you're gonna go right back to the beginning and we'll be here again next year starting over. Make sense? Okay, so let's get into it. What's gonna happen? This is the beginning of looking at your why. What will happen if you don't make these changes permanently? What does that road look like? What does your hard look like? 5 years from now, 1 year from now, where we're sitting here in the exact same place, I want you to write it down. What will happen if you don't? Okay, actually don't write it down yet. I changed my mind because it's a different sequence on your paper. So we need to look at that. Then we need to look at what will happen if you do, because we want to look at both sides of this thing. We don't want to just look at the negative, like, oh, I'm going to get sick and die early. Okay, right? We also want to look at what opportunities could there be. Could you imagine, like, you have great grandbabies and you get to babysit? They get to stay at your house because you can care for a child when you're at that age that you have a great grandbaby? Think about that. Wouldn't that be wild? You can take your great grandbabies across the country. You can take them to Disneyland and keep up. You can, whatever you value, okay? Imagine what it could be, what you could be working towards. And even if it's crazy, right? Even if it's totally crazy and you're like, that's like 107, right? Work for it. Work for it anyway, because what's the consequence of it not happening, but you worked for it? Well, you got closer to that. Even if you didn't make it, you got closer to it. You got something in between what it could be, right? And that dream. So that's what we want to talk about today and what I want you guys to do next. We're going to find your purpose. This is your underlying reason for training, for exercise, for taking care of your health. So the first question, I think, is what does your health mean to you? What does your health mean in your life? Having it, not having it. What does that look like? Go ahead and write it down. I'm going to give you guys time. And some of these questions might feel a little bit repetitive, but I really want you to dig in. Over the years, my purpose in training has changed. So just because it was one thing at one time doesn't mean it's the same today. And keeping that in the forefront of your mind as you go through your fitness journey is important. When I was in my 20s, my reason for health was to be able to have a healthy pregnancy and delivery. That was it. I was scared to death. I wanted to have kids, but I didn't want to have kids, you know? And so I was scared to death of that. That was like, oh my gosh, like how am I going to have kids without having kids? And and so I was like, well, I can make my body really, really strong, really, really healthy, because women do better through pregnancies and deliveries when they're strong and healthy. So I was still in college thinking about this. That was my purpose for starting to run, and I hated running. Absolutely hated it. But I thought that was the answer. And so I ran. But over the years, it changes. So what is it for you today? What does health mean for you today? And then the next question, why do you want better health? You guys are all actually doing quite well. You guys are all doing quite well. Like, I'm pretty familiar with your numbers and what you're dealing with medically and physically. Compared to the average in our community, you guys are doing quite well. So what does your health mean to you? A lot of you guys are already getting off medication. Is that the end? Or are you going to go even further with this? Good. Remember our talk from last week about the tug of war and how you are being tugged in one direction by culture, friends, and family, and your old ways. That's the pull. and you have to tug in the other direction not to end up going there, right? So this next question, what's going to happen if you don't do something about it? What's going to happen if you don't put in the effort? And I want you to keep in mind, the answer is not nothing. There is no such thing as a static condition. Your condition is either improving or it's not improving. There's no such thing as staying steady. Especially in this world. If you're not putting in an effort, the world will carry you over towards sickness. Has anyone tried to just do nothing and stay the same? Anyone try that? I'm just going to take a break for a while. It didn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Unfortunately, there's no such thing as taking a break. It is a constant effort forward or you will move backwards. And that's just because of how we're set up. If you lived on a farm where you were eating off your farm, your meat, your eggs, your vegetables, everything was coming off your land, and you had to work the land, you probably could do absolutely nothing except for work that land, keep those animals alive, and eat the food you made, and you would be fine. Yeah, you wouldn't have to think about it, but that's not the world we live in. It's too easy to slide backwards, okay? So you're really looking at what would happen if I don't do. What's going to happen if I don't do? Medication, needing to be cared for, having to put a lot of energy into doing the basics in your day. Lots more effort into little things because you don't have the strength, the stamina, the endurance to get things done. Those sort of things. Not getting to meet that grandchild or great-grandchild, whatever your goals are, right? Okay, then what could happen if you do something? What could your fitness and health look like? How great could it be? Could you be doing muscle-ups in a year? Crazy. Could you be running a mile in 10 minutes or running a mile without stopping? What could it be? Could you be there to meet your great-grandchildren, Jack? You could be, right?
That would be a dream.
Yeah, that would be a dream, right?
Be able to influence their life too.
Exactly, exactly. Get it? Winning. Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. And it took work to get you that far. Good job. Good job. Okay, now this next one is a simple one. What's one thing you could do better? One thing. Better than you did last week. Maybe it's getting in those workouts. Maybe it's getting to bed sooner. Maybe it's not having that thing that took you off plan. Maybe it's finding a different protein bar.
Mine is honey.
He's over there making out with Adria. That's what was off plan. Yeah.
Just too sweet.
Too sweet. Awesome.
RX protein bars, are those on plan?
Some are and some aren't.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to look at the ingredients. The ones that have chocolate chips in them are off plan. And then there's some that have just on plan ingredients.
Blueberry and vanilla.
There you go. I think there's one more.
Oh, maybe
Peanut butter. Yeah, there's 3 that are on
I
plan.
chose the wrong one.
We should have warnings. We'd have warning signs. Yeah, on plan, off plan.
I'm like, this must be okay.
Yeah, it's generally okay, but for what we're doing, there's some ingredients in there. Okay, good. So we're done with that. Everyone wrapped up with their little exercise there? Okay, cool. So have you guys ever met somebody or known them your whole life and you're like, why is it so easy for them to be fit? Maybe you follow them on Instagram. But you know these people and you're like, how come it's so easy for them and so hard for me? Maybe as a sibling, yeah? Anybody knows? Can you think of somebody where you just go, why do they look like that and I look like this? Okay? We like to tell ourselves it's genetics. That's what we like to say because it takes the responsibility off our shoulders. That's a much easier thing to say. Well, they have better genetics than me. They have a faster metabolism. They have whatever, okay? They have smaller bones. Yes. Yes. We like to say it's genetics. We like to take that load off our shoulders. Okay, but I will tell you their secret. Every single one of these people have a secret. Their secret is habits. They have set up their life to make it easy. You have set up your life to make it hard. You have things in your environment that pull you in. You have not looked at the things you're doing relative to your goals. They have. Okay? Their systems are in place to make it easy. This does not have to be hard. It's hard because you haven't put the systems in place and you haven't put up your little barricades. Okay? It's like bowling. I'm really bad at bowling. So you know how I make it easier? I get those little bubbles in the little puffy things. The guardrails. Yeah. The bumpers. That makes bowling easy. Right? I don't know why y'all work so hard with those gutters there. Just put up the rails. What? Oh yeah, I use the ramp too. Make it easy on yourself. Okay? So that's their secret. They have set up their life in a way that makes it easy. I mean, this can go far. They find their partners in environments where they are doing things towards their goals, right? They don't find their partners in a bar. They find their partners in a gym, okay? Because if you find a partner in a bar, right, that partner is probably someone who's going to go to a bar with you, not somebody who's going to take you to the gym. And that's going to be a harder road to health. They might do things like they don't go to McDonald's because at McDonald's there's too many things that cost $1 and are bad for our health, right? They don't drive through anything. They make policies for themselves where they go, well, if it's that easy to get the food, I don't want it. They don't download apps where people can deliver delicious cookies within an hour, fresh out the oven, right? Those food apps, what are they called?
DoorDash, Uber.
Yeah, those. Uber Eats, DoorDash. They don't download those. Those don't exist on their phones, okay? They set up those rails to help get that strike every time. Doesn't take as much effort. Does that make sense? Okay, so we call these habits. Guardrails, habits, routines. Once you got them, they're easy. You've got to set them up though, and that's harder. But once you get through that and they're all set up, you're good to go. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's talk about what a habit is. It's a routine and it happens instinctively. You don't have to think about it. My favorite one that we all do, I hope, is brush our teeth. You guys don't wake up in the morning and go, should I brush my teeth today? I mean, I'm not going to be that close to anybody. I don't have to kiss anyone today. Maybe I'll skip it. You know, maybe I'll swish my coffee around and I'll just smell like coffee. You guys don't do that when it comes to brushing your teeth. You just get up and do it, right? Maybe once upon a time, though, do you remember? Do you ever fake brush your teeth?
When I was a kid.
Yeah. I used to take the toothpaste and rub it on my tongue so my breath smelled better because brushing my teeth was like hard, you know? But that was establishing my habit, right? It was like, okay, well, turns out faking brushing your teeth is harder than just brushing your teeth. Yeah? Okay. Some people are. This is recent. Yes, don't forget to floss.
Don't forget to floss. It's like
So,
wiping your butt.
It happens instinctively. So when it comes to going to the gym, how many of you go to the gym instinctively now? Raise your hand. It's like, it's not optional. It's like, how did I get here? You just woke up and ended up here. Okay? That's what we want. We don't want you to have to battle in your mind, should I go? Shouldn't I go? You know, what's the workout? What if I don't like it? Who's that dumb coach? Like just go, right? And when it happens that way, the struggle goes away. All that mental energy you can save for something else, okay? All right, so habits happen instinctively. They're ingrained in us. They're not something that takes any effort. Making sense? Now, the thing about habits is they're so powerful, they can change your health, they can change your relationships, they can change your production in your life. That's how powerful these are. For example, if you go to work and you have a habit of, I don't know, popping open a pleasure reading book and not being productive for the first hour, it might drain your production for the whole day. But if you have a habit of going to work, writing down everything you need to accomplish that day, starting at the top, checking it off until you're through the bottom, you might be the most productive employee that ever existed on that job. What was the habit? Showing up and writing a list. That's it. That's all it was. That was the beginning. You start at the top, finish at the bottom. That's a habit. And it could change everything. You might get a promotion. You might get a raise. You might own the company in 5 years just because of one little habit. Does that make sense? Cool. So we get habits. Habits have what we call triggers and rewards. We have things that tell us to do the thing, and we have things that tell us, thank you for doing the thing. My favorite is you wake up in the morning, you feel tired, it's morning, you get what? Coffee. Tea. Tea. You go get some caffeine. You take in your caffeine and you feel? Okay. Happy thing. I was going to say joy. Right? You feel good. You get a good feeling from it. The trigger is I'm tired. The reward is I feel joy, happy, awake, energized. Yeah? Okay, I guess you guys aren't all coffee drinkers. I get really excited about coffee. Okay, good. Let's take a habit that's not so productive for us. You get home from work. You're tired. Trigger. You sit on the couch. Habit. You're tired. You sit on the couch. Habit. Okay, where does that lead? Probably to a remote. And then 5 hours pass. You're late to bed. You haven't had dinner. Right? You see how this could ripple into less health. Less and less and less health. Yeah? So that's a habit. When you recognize what your triggers are, you can hack into this cycle. You go, oh, trigger is walking into the house tired. That's my trigger. So what if I didn't walk into the house tired? What? Crazy. Okay, so you pull into your driveway, you're tired. What if you didn't walk into the house? What if you went for a walk around your block until you didn't feel tired? Believe it or not, it actually works. Because once you get the blood pumping, you ever walk in here tired and leave here not tired? Yeah, you're physically tired, right? But not mentally tired. You're energized, you're pumped. That's what exercise can do for you. Make sense? Let's say your trigger is you walk into the house hungry after a full day of work and you grab snacks, you grab chips or whatever's convenient. What's that face, Sni? Is that you? Did I just like talk about, just like, she sees me. What if you didn't have the chips in the house, so you had to grab something else, right? There's how you hack into that system. You go, well, if there's no chips, I have to grab grapes or an apple or some cheese. Yeah? Okay. So that's how we hack into this. Your next page is habits. So we're going to write down some habits that you have that do not. Nope. We're going to write down some habits that you have that do contribute to your health. Go ahead, write it down. What are some things that you do instinctively that do contribute to your health goals, the things that you are working towards? Let's write down the things you're doing right. I go to the gym every day. I brush my teeth so I don't end up with gum disease. Whatever it is, write it down. I don't put Oreos in my shopping cart. Right? That is a good habit. Write down the good habits. I don't hang out with Fred. Fred's up to no good. Oh, yours is Fred. Your boyfriend's Fred, right? Harry. Oh, Harry, good. Whew. I was like, I just called out a real person. I was trying to make up a person. I don't hang out with Fred, because Fred brings me chocolate bars every day. No more Fred.
2 boxes of pizza last.
Sheesh. Harry. I should have called out Harry.
I didn't have a slice.
Good job. What'd you do instead?
Ate peanut butter.
Okay. That works. Yeah. Good.
I do a chicken crust pizza.
Yeah, I did another meat pizza last night.
I love chicken crust pizza.
Yeah, it's really good. You use meat as the crust instead of dough.
I wanted to try that recipe.
Oh yeah, so easy. So easy.
That sounds like something we
You
need.
use meat as a crust for it?
Yeah, so the one I made last night was cottage cheese, egg, and ground turkey. And you lay it out on parchment paper on a baking sheet. Then you bake it. You get it dried out as much as, it's meat. So, and turkey, is already kind of dry. So
It's pretty dry.
yeah, dries out pretty well. I take it's solid. It's like a giant burger, basically. Nice. And I dump out the water. There's always a lot of moisture. And then I put tomato sauce, no added sugar, and then mozzarella cheese, and then you can do onions, mushrooms, whatever toppings. You don't need to add meat on top because the whole thing is meat. And then you bake it some more, and it gives you the pizza experience where you can hold it, right, like a piece of pizza.
Cheese on it too.
Yep, sauce, cheese, veggies, and then it tastes like pizza because you got. It's great. Yeah, it's very filling. So if you're used to eating like 5 slices of pizza, that ain't gonna happen. But you'll get your protein in. That's a lot of protein.
My husband eats 3 pieces of pizza usually, and he ate that. He's like,
I can't do more.
he's like, I'm
Yeah.
I did do pepperoni for him.
Nice.
How do you scale it? Like, how do you weigh it? Like, how do you know how much protein you're getting in that one meal?
You'd have to put it into MyFitnessPal probably.
Oh, so you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can probably
Chat's not that good at no. Chat has a lot of errors when it comes to macronutrient breakdown in food. But if you go to recipes in MyFitnessPal and enter your ingredients, figure out how many servings you're getting out of it, it'll give you your breakdown. Yeah. All right, so we wrote down our good habits. Now we're going to write down our habits that we know do not contribute to our health and to our health goals. I want to remind you the word good and bad. Maybe we've talked about this, maybe we haven't. Good, we're saying, means it contributes to where you're trying to go with your health. You specifically, not what somebody else thinks or what somebody else wants. Good is going to be those things that contribute to what you want. Bad is going to be the things that do not contribute to what you want, send you away from where you really want to go. Okay? There's no such thing as good and bad food. There's food that contributes to your goals, and there's food that takes you away from your goals. And your goals are individual. And so your goods and bads are different from each other's. Okay? So we're looking at the things that walk you away. And this may not just be food. This might be staying up late on your phone or doing nothing in the morning when you know you could be. You're up. You might as well do something productive, right? It could be anything. What are the things that you could do better? Go ahead and write those down. And then looking at those, once you have a little bit of a list, I want you to isolate what the triggers are. What are the things that trigger those habits? Maybe it's a feeling. Maybe it's a time of day. Maybe it's a location. What are the triggers? He's so tired. Love that struggle, trying to stay awake. What are those things that you know, like, oh man, every time we go there, I order the wrong thing. Whatever it is, what are the triggers? Or every time I hang out with that Fred, you know, he's always making me eat Taco Bell. That's your Fred? Yeah. All right. Good. So being aware is the first step. Being aware of the things that trigger you, being aware of what you're doing in response to the triggers, that's the first step. When you're aware of it, you can start to control it. When you close your eyes to it and pretend it's not there, that's where we lose our control. It just happens to us, and we don't even know it's happening. Okay? Good. And you guys can take more time with this, do more at home. There's probably a lot you could look at, because everything you do is mostly habit. Okay? Okay, so let's look at what those really fit, obnoxious people who've been fit for most of their lives, who've had six packs for over a decade, let's look at what they do. And what we can do is we can mimic their habits and their routines to produce the same results in ourselves. Okay? So, number one is they eat. What? How many of you went through a period of time where you're like, fine, I just won't eat? Yeah. Really? Okay. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a response for a lot of us. We go, well, I don't like it. I just won't eat. I'm just gonna write off food. I'll eat when I have to. When I'm about to die, I'll eat a cracker, okay? It turns out that that doesn't produce better health, and it doesn't produce the weight loss that we want. It doesn't produce a strong body. Strong, fit, healthy people, they eat. They really, really eat, and they usually eat a lot more than you think, okay? They also log their food at some point, because that produces an understanding of what they're eating. Everyone I know who has been fit and healthy for a long time, they went through some period of time learning about their foods. They learned, oh, if I eat this kind of meat, it does this, and if I eat this kind of meat, it does that, and it provides these nutrients as opposed to those nutrients. And so at some point, they spent 1 week or 1 month or 3 months logging their food and looking at what their food does and is. They're not just blindly eating. Make sense? Okay, who's logged before? I know we talked about logging protein. Yeah, okay, so most of you have that experience. I highly recommend at least a week of your life to really look at what your foods are. They have coaches. At some point in their life, they had a coach, and they have coaches. They have someone there helping them grow. The coach is not there to just enforce things. They're there to help you grow, to reach outside of your norms, establish new habits, get you past yourself, okay? That's a wonderful thing that the fittest people on earth all have, coaches, okay? The fittest people on earth have multiple coaches. They have nutrition coaches. They have medical coaches. They have fitness coaches. They have competition coaches. They have coaches for the different areas of fitness. They're ridiculous. How many coaches do you need? They need like 7 or 8, okay? That's what the fittest people on earth, who are achieving the greatest health with their bodies. Okay, making sense? You guys have coaches, so you're doing great. They have a community. The people around them are doing the same thing. They hang out with people who are headed in the same direction. And that provides support. It provides our bumpers, okay? When you have people hanging out in the gutters. Oh, I like this analogy. This is new, by the way. This is a brand new analogy, okay? When you have people who are hanging out in the gutters, they pull you into the gutters, right? But when you have bumpers, bumper friends, they keep you in the lane. This is great. I don't know why we haven't bowled before. I'm really bad at bowling. I never thought it would be useful. Here we are.
Well, bumper friends are so helpful.
Bumper friends, yes.
When you're struggling at,
Yeah.
when I'm at work and I'm like, oh my God, I'm starving. I have at least 8 people I can be, do you have a banana? Do you have a beef stick?
There you go. Yeah. You got some good bumper friends. Okay, schedule. You never grew and learned as fast as you did as when you were a child. When you were a kid, you were studying like 6 subjects at once, and a sport, and learning how to mop the floor at home, and learning how to walk the neighborhood and sell Girl Scout cookies, right? You were also learning how to take care of other children if you were a babysitter. You were learning so many things at the same time. You might have been learning a new instrument. Yeah? Why? How did that happen? How did you do that? Schedules. Your parents were like, idle childs are the devil. And so they were like, okay, here we go. School at 7:30. Math is the first class. Science is the next class. History is the next. You're learning all these subjects at the same time. And then they're like, oh yeah, and piano. And then, oh yeah, football. And then, oh yeah, swimming. You're learning all these things at the same time. How did you do that? You had a schedule. And your parents kept you on the schedule. And the school kept you on the schedule. And so you progressed really fast. Okay? You can still do that. You can still learn and change that much. You just have to have a routine. You have to have a schedule, okay? And you guys don't have to, right? We're past that. We don't have to learn 7 things at once. But there's still things to learn. There are still so many things to develop and learn in yourself. And the way you're going to do that at a maximum speed is with a schedule. And the schedule makes it less crazy. If I said, here, read this book, read it right now all the way through, that's like 10 hours of your day, depending on the book. Or read this for 30 minutes every night for the next 20 days, and then you're done, right? And now you just learned something new that can help you. When was the last time you read a book?
This morning.
Great. Yesterday. Good. How many has not read a book in over a year? You have not read a book. Okay. How many has not read a book in over 6 months? Okay. So there's opportunity there, right? Like there's so much knowledge. And what you learned in school, especially when we're talking about like health sciences, it's old news, guys. Health science has progressed so far. There's so much to learn. And maybe you didn't even take health science as a kid. Now you have even more opportunity to learn. Does that make sense? Okay. Schedules, that's how you do it. The other thing that they do, these really successfully fit people, is they look. They constantly look and assess. Did I run faster? Do I have less body fat? Did my muscle grow? How does my digestion feel? How did that meal make me feel? After I ate that, how did I perform in the gym? After I ate that, how did I feel in my workday? They're paying attention. They're looking, constantly looking and assessing. Our tools in here is, how are your workouts going? Are you getting stronger? How is your endurance feeling? Are you able to go longer in the workout before you take a break? Are you having to take breaks more often, less often? It's always going to feel hard. Don't get me wrong. CrossFit never gets easy. Just putting that out there. Okay, this isn't like, oh, it was harder and now it's easier. Not a thing in CrossFit, because the workouts just get harder as you get fitter. Okay, but you should be able to do more work in less time. You should be able to go longer without breaks. That should all be happening as you get fitter. So we're paying attention to these things. We're looking at how your diet is affecting your in-body scan. Are you gaining fat? Are you losing fat? Where is the fat going? Is it visceral fat? Making sense? Okay. So that's what all that's for. This, you guys have seen this all over the gym. I think we have it tucked right here. This is the successful actions of our super fit people in the world, okay? Our fittest on earth. This is what they do. Lucky for you, you're doing it. This is what we're doing, okay? The quick cut, eating meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, okay? That's what we're doing. We're doing their successful actions. We're working on keeping intake levels that will support exercise but not body fat. This is what we're doing. Josh and I went through this whole like roundabout thing where we're like, let's try everything. We're like keto and logging our food and calorie deficits and the 800 grams fruits and vegetables, which we're about to get into, right? We did this whole big circle. And then we got to the quick cut and I was like, hey Josh, we're just doing that. We spent years, I'm not kidding, years doing all these different things to see what affected us and what was most effective. And I was like, hey Josh, we're just back to that. Literally. So that's what the quick cut teaches you. Yeah, so, yeah, totally. It's kind of like the meat category. All right, guys, this is, how am I doing? Wow. This right here is a really cool diagram. We pulled it off Instagram. But what it's showing is how you take something that is just a clunky action that you're learning, and then you practice it, and it becomes easier in terms of like your life and your habits and your routines and your schedules, right? It's clunky at first, where you're like at that restaurant you always eat at, and you're like, wait, that's not on plan, and that's not on plan, and ooh, that's a little clunky, right? It takes a little longer. You can't just go to what you normally go to, and you're like, okay, how do I do this? It's like not quite smooth. And then you go, oh, okay, I'll just get eggs and bacon and potatoes. Cool, I'll make my own meal. Cool, and then you have to order it, and the waitress is like, those are sides. You're like, yes, they are. Put them on one plate, please, right? Like, have you guys ever ordered off menu and the waitress is like, yeah, it happened to me the other day. Last weekend, I was like, can I just have, it was breakfast, and I was like, oh, I wanted the salmon with the eggs without the biscuit. And I was like, could I have some potatoes? Oh, no, can't do that. And I was like, okay, fine. They're like, you have to order on the menu. And I was like, well, I don't want a biscuit on my plate. And they're like, oh, okay. And I was like, fine, I'll get the artichokes and eggs. And he's like, okay. And then he goes back to the kitchen, he comes back, and he's like, chef said I could do it without the biscuit. And I was like, great. It was really grumpy. I was like, I'm not that hard to please. Just don't serve me bread. Yeah. So it's clunky at first, and it feels weird. And if you haven't done it, right, it feels weird, and it feels foreign, and it doesn't feel like you. But then over time, you practice and practice and practice, and you're like, okay, what's the big deal? Now you got it, right? Now it's a habit. No big deal. Becomes consistent. And then something crazy happens. It goes beyond a habit. It becomes who you are. It just becomes the way you eat. This isn't a diet you're on. This is just how you choose